episode 9 of Once Upon a Corgi. I'm Gabby. You can find me everywhere on the internet as Gabbigales, Ravelry, Instagram, Twitter sometimes. You can find my yarn and project bags at uponacorgi.etsy.com, and you can find all the show notes for everything at onceuponacorgi.wordpress.com. And we have a Ravelry group, Once Upon a Corgi podcast on Ravelry under the groups tab if you want to go and check it out. And welcome back to any returning viewers, and hello new viewers. I did an intro. Today is probably going to be a quick episode, and I'm sorry if I'm really quiet. It's about 8 in the morning. Jake's still asleep. Puppies are still asleep. You can hear Iron click-clack around. So, I'm waiting for Adrian to get here because we're going to go to Brooklyn to go knit with a bunch of cool people in a bookstore, and I'm so excited. And then probably go to Gauge Intention and buy yarn. What are you gonna do? They are, Michelle runs Gauge Intention, I believe. If I'm mistaken, I'll put it down over here. And she's closing. I don't know if it's a forever thing or if it's just a for now thing. I think it's a forever thing. I don't know. I don't have that much information about it. But she's having a sale and everything, and I believe she closes March 20th. So if you're in the area and you haven't been, I suggest check it out. I've never been. I'm excited to see it, but I'm also sad it'll be my first and last time. So what are you gonna do? I have my show notes down here, so if I keep peeking, that's why. What other things would we talk about? Oh, our Luca shawl cowl started March 1st, and it's going. It's happening. I'm a little bit in. I'll talk about it more in works in progress. But yeah, we're using the hashtag Luca shawl cowl on Instagram, and there's a thread in the Ravelry group, so if you would like to join, feel free to share, or if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I can't promise we'll be able to answer them, but we can try. So, yeah, I think that's it for official things. I'm gonna do this in the beginning because I've been trying to do it in the beginning and then switch how I'm sitting mid-podcast, which usually would be like podcast mentions. Go check them out. And there are so many podcasts. It is it's wonderful. I mean, I just love being able to hear everybody share what they have and what they're working on. And there's just such a variety of different people out there that are doing so much different knitting. I love it. So instead of, 2 of them actually have podcasts, but it's sort of an enabling section because I've just been obsessing over these shops. So sometimes this will be podcasts, sometimes this will be shops, sometimes it'll be a mix of both. So the first one you should check out is Eldenwood Craft on Etsy. She makes the most beautiful bags. I don't own any. I have my eye on a couple fabrics. I'm just sort of waiting for the right moment and the right paycheck, but she does these beautiful, like, natural fabrics with woodland creatures on them, and then there's an architecture one, and they're all zipper project bags. Oh, they're beautiful. You definitely need to look at them. At least look at them, if not own all of them, except one, so I can have one too. So definitely check her out, and I will have links to all these in the show notes. So the next one is she has a podcast, Adelaide Cottage. Sharon? I'm so sorry. I just watched your episode like 12 hours ago. She's, I believe, 5 or 6 episodes in, and she has the most adorable Etsy shop of reversible bags. Katie from Inside Number 23 recently showed one of her bags, so if you don't watch that podcast, you should, and then you can see one of her bags. And she just did a Walking Dead kit. I don't even watch The Walking Dead. I hate zombies. It's not so much if I hate them, as I fear them a lot, to the point where I used to keep a bat in my car. So But I love the idea of a Walking Dead kit. I think it's great. I would probably get one if I could afford it at the moment. So you should definitely check her out. The other podcast that you should definitely check out, and this is because of I heard of them, and then I was put in touch with them through Melissa and Brittany for the Swants challenge, and that's Abby and Allie of the Get Lit and Knit. They're only 3 or 4 episodes in, so you don't have to catch up at all, and they are fantastic. Oh my, that Scotch scene was just my spirit animal. Come on. I don't think I've seen one with Allie in it. I've only watched episode 3. But Abby is fantastic, and I talked to her a little bit because we are doing a Swants challenge, and that will be open March 11th. And I can't show you anything because it's all anonymous. And then the last shop, I did my research on this, I swear, and then I did it so long ago I didn't write anything down, but it's October House Yarns, and they just have the most beautiful tonal, like muted natural tones, kind of. If you ever seen Gregora Fibers, she is fantastic and she does all natural stuff, but it's sort of like the same color palette as that, but I think October House Yarns uses acid dyes. I could be mistaken. I'll have to double check. But this is my enabling section, and you need to look at all these things and buy them all, except for one of each, so then I can have some. So with that, let's move on to some knitting. I have no finished objects. I tried so hard and I just couldn't get anything done. So we're gonna move right into whips. And I'm also, as one could guess, drinking coffee. And this is in my Eeyore mug that I got for high school graduation. My mom got us each a Disney mug. I think I get a Disney mug every year from her, so I'm not mad. So our first work in progress. Did I bring them all? Nope, I forgot my cardigan. I'll post pictures. First work in progress are the Hulk socks. I don't want to knit on these anymore, but as you can see, I'm fairly close to being halfway done with the foot. This is, I'm knitting this out of Malabrigo sock yarn. In the purple is the Abril colorway, and then the green is a Fresco E something. I can never remember the second word, and I have lost the tags. So it will be in the show notes. But we've got the cuffs and the heels in the purple done, and we have to try it on to make sure that we are about halfway, and then the toes will be purple as well. And I did a garter stitch. I don't think I went into this last time because I tried to podcast on a Monday after work. That was bad news. I did a garter stitch heel flap in hopes that it would give him a little bit more cushion because he is on his feet a lot. And then I did a double gusset for, oh, that's the one I messed up on. Let's not show you that one. Here's the correct one. Okay. A double gusset. So it decreases on the bottom, and then from what I've heard, it tucks the yarn up into the arch of your foot more, so it's a little bit more of a snug. And I haven't gotten any major holes on the sides. So that worked out really well, and I definitely want to try them on a pair of my socks. I'm not sure which socks yet, but one of these days. So, and they are on size 1 Chow Goose, and I'm in the middle of the socks. So everything's tangled. So there they are, and I've got my little bee progress keeper and a drop stitch, so let's not look at that one. So it's a work in progress. My goal is his birthday. And yeah, I'm just trying not to burn myself out on them because it is taking forever, so they are my Monday socks, so I will only knit them on Monday. It won't get them done faster, but it'll keep me from hating them, and I don't want to do that. And this is in one of my Once Upon a Corgi bags, my little corgi embroidered. I'm debating if I want to continue embroidering the corgis just because it takes so long. I don't want to hate the bags. I am thinking about getting a corgi picture tag, but I'll talk about that later. Our next work in progress, and these guys are so close to being done. I'm so excited, are my I Love You More Than Pumpkin Spice socks. And this is in a freakish lemon bag made by Adrian. There's his little tag. He has an Etsy shop, freakishlemon.etsy.com. So you should definitely check him out. I think he's got a couple bags up. Mostly stitch markers at the moment, I believe. These are so tangled. Alright. Whatever. So here they are, and they have this beautiful, you can probably see it better on the brown one, pumpkin cable going all the way up the foot. And I'm about 4 rows away from doing the cuff, and they've got alternate heels, toes, and cuffs. I did a fish lips kiss heel, and the design is by Cece Allman, Java Pearl Designs, and she's from the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. She's got a book coming out in March. I think the pre-order ended yesterday, but I'll put a link to her website so you can take a look, and it's all coffee inspired patterns. And so I got this as a kit, and this is on Rainbow Heirloom in their orange peel and coffee lovers colorway. And I'm just loving how it knits up. It's so soft already, and just the tones in the orange, it's just beautiful. I love it. And I'm knitting these on my Nova Cubics 1.5 US, 2.5 millimeter, and they're the square ones. I don't know if you can see that, but they are just, oh, I love these. These are so fun to knit with. I think it's so much easier to get, because I knit pretty tight, so having the flat edge gives you a little bit of a gap around the corner to sort of like wiggle your needle through. I'm having fun. And it's a 47-inch cable because it was the only one they had. So it's perfect for 2 at a time socks. I am going to try 1 at a time magic loop on these because I want to knit my Scottish inspiration socks on these. So there they are. Hopefully they better be done next time I podcast. But these will be sock pair number 1 for the Boxo Socks Cal that Kristen from the Yarngasm podcast is hosting. So I think once I get a couple attached socks done, I'll bring the box back out. It's a beautiful Star Wars box. Our next work in progress, I'll do my socks first. And this is in my new, it came Friday, Good to Be a Girl Etsy shop. And it's the Knitting Ghastlies. Oh my god, just look at how mad they are. Oh, this is my favorite bag. I decided I needed to own more bags that weren't made by me because that's just selfish. So she's got this beautiful, I think it's cotton and steel, chevron pattern on the inside, and this handle on you should check out her shop as well. It was wonderful. I love this bag. I couldn't put it in my purse. I had to carry it outside of my purse all day yesterday. And in here lives my March socks for my Boxo Socks slash pair socks a month challenge that I did for myself. And this is out of Into the World in their God's Wood colors. And I got this at Rhinebeck. And I started this on Wednesday. And I knit to the cuff, and then we went out with a couple friends Friday night, and I knit all of this. Or no, I knit to the marker, and then I knit this Saturday morning while we were watching Harry Potter, because we're adults. I just want to show, I thought these stripes were blue for about 3 days, and they're just this beautiful green. Oh, look at these colors. I cannot wait for Rhinebeck because I am going to fall upon the Into the World booth like a storm they've never seen, and it's gonna be awful for my wallet, but it's gonna be beautiful. I want to get their fiber now. I want to get more of this. I want to get their kettle dyed yarn. And this is their, did I bring the tag over? Yes, I did. 100% BFL superwash. So they're Bethel socks. And there's their tag. And then God's Wood, I'm assuming their reference is for Game of Thrones, because that's what I thought of. They do have a lot of nerdy fandom. I think Adrian got the Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey fiber when we were at Rhinebeck, so I just love them. I can't wait. I'm just so excited to work on these. And I did a 1x1 twisted rib for the cuff, and 20 rows of that, and I'm going to do 80 rows of the leg, and I haven't decided on the heel if I want to put in a contrasting heel to keep the stripes going, or if I want to do like just a fish lipscus heel, which has been my standard heel lately. So there you go. And I've got one of my test corgi progress keepers on there, and they have tails. Oh, I love it. I'll put a link to her shop too, because she's got a bunch of different animal charms. So if you have any sort of dog, she's got a lot of dog ones and a couple really fun like light up LED ones. How cool is that? So those are my socks, all of them. And I guess we'll work on 2 shawls. Oh, I should have gotten my cardigan while I was loading this video onto my computer. Our first shawl is the Luca shawl. Now I'm enjoying the pattern. I like my yarn. I just don't like my needles. I'm knitting them on a size 4 because that was the closest to gauge I could get. And I started on, I have so many things in this bag. Oh, falling. Okay, let's put that there. They're on Metal Knit Pro or Knit Picks size 4 DPNs, and I didn't mind knitting like sleeves and my hat on these, but they're just so heavy for the yarn. Like you can, I don't want to, like it's too heavy. And then I have these because I broke, either Jake or I sat on my Dreams needles, the winter ones that I got in my kit, and nobody had them, so I just ordered some carbons to give them a shot, and the joins are a little rough, but this part, like the cable part, is super rough to get the yarn over, so it's been such a fight to knit with them. Like every join along here was just a battle to get my yarn over. And I like knitting on these because I have a little pair for my memories blanket, and I like knitting them there, so I don't know, maybe if it was just this pair or what. I want to try, because Knitter's Pride came out with the new cables, the like color-coded ones, so I was wondering if anybody had any experiences with those. Do they have a smoother join? I don't know. I want to knit on this shawl. I really like it. It's coming out beautifully. So if you can open it up a little bit. There we go. But I just hate the needles, or if maybe there's any lighter needles. I don't want to use bamboo because I knit really tightly on bamboo, so I figured metal I'd be the safest at, because then my gauge is a lot looser, and I don't want this to be like a doily size shawl when I'm done with it. So I don't know, maybe if I put these on a longer cape, I don't know. So I do really want to like the carbons. I like them on my other project. So it's a work, and I'm knitting this. It's by Jared Flood, and it came out in Brooklyn Tweed's latest pattern collection. Adrian might be here. And I'm knitting it on Jagger Spun, 50% wool, 50% silk lace, and it's got 1120 yards, and the pattern calls for 1115, so we'll just have enough, which is perfect because I want to use up this whole skein. Does it say what number or color? I think it does. Oh, Cinnabar. And it's just this beautiful red color. And it's so soft. I can't wait for it to be done. I don't know what to do about the needles. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Put it in the thread for this episode. And this has my manatee progress keeper on it. I also love him. I think Adrian might be here. So, I am making progress on my old wool cardigan. I don't have it with me. It's in the bedroom, and if I go in there, I'm going to wake all the dogs up. So, just know that it's being worked on, and I'm loving it. I'm already in my third cake. I think I have about an inch left of the ribbing, so I'll put a picture of what it looks like right here. So our last work in progress is I started another bonbon shawl that's covered in cat hair as a thank you for the dog sitter that we hired. She's a hostess at the restaurant Jake works at, so, you know, high school labor, but the dogs love her so much, and she stays for like an hour when she comes by, so I wanted to make her a thank you shawl. So I'm doing the fingering weight version of the bonbon shawl by Isabel from the Fluffy Fibers podcast, and I'm doing this in a test Lollybroch colorway that I dyed up. So this was like the first version of it, and this is just on a mystery 100% wool. It came out brighter than I wanted to. I wanted it more, I think I'm gonna add some browns and grays and stuff and get it more foresty and tower oriented. So, but I did get the greens, and then the bluey greens for the locks, and then if you read Outlander, they have a yellow rose bush that climbs up the tower. So I wanted the pops of yellow in there, because I'm an Outlander nut. Yeah, so this is version 1 of Lollybroch, and I'm knitting these on my Knitter's Pride Dreams, size 6. So, I love the wooden needles. They just feel so vintagey, old school. And they go with all my SEA outfits, because I'm sitting there with wooden needles, all the like super SEA nuts are just like, metal needles? Did you sew that with a sewing machine? So, there you go. I'm only working on it at home because I don't have a project bag for it, but putting in a couple rows every so often. I can't imagine not having her as a dog walker anytime soon, so I've got time. And that's it for works in progress. Oh, I spun. Let me get my spinning. Time is a wibbly wobbly. So, last I left you about 4 seconds ago, I went to go grab my spinning. Now it's 8 p.m. on a Monday. While I was grabbing my spinning yesterday morning, Adrian showed up and we whisked away to New York and met up with literally all the coolest people I could think of that live in the area for a knit group, and went to Gauge Intention for a last hoorah before they close, grabbed some noms, and then had a fun knitty day. And when I got home, I was just so exhausted that I couldn't finish the podcast. So, even though I promised I wouldn't do this anymore, it's another Monday night podcast. And we have Jax to join us, because the puppies are on a play date with their brother Cecil tonight at our friend's house. So, I have my Monday cup, I have my Monday beverage. Let's do this again. So, when I left off, I was going to tell you about my spinning, which is, I forgot to get the label. Turds crazy work hair. You know what I blame? That. You see that? Not the hedgehogs. The TARDIS. Time is wibbly wobbly. I am spinning a BFL? What's it? BFL? This is a fiber club that I joined last year by Sarah's Textured Crafts. Isabel from the Fluffy Fibers mentioned her, and then I fell in love. And I'm super disorganized, and I'm getting scratched by a cat. I think it's BFL Silk, and it's a colorway inspired by Monet, as you can probably tell by the palette. If you want to see a finished spun and knit item, Isabel from the Fluffy Fibers podcast also just finished knitting a tiny little baby cardigan out of this, and it looks so good. So here is the picture that it's inspired by. So I think they did a pretty good job. And I am doing my first fractal spinning, purposeful fractal spinning. I think I did it by accident once, but we're not counting that. I give him a piece of chicken out of my burrito. This is what happens. So that's my spinning. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm loving the colors. It's definitely much more exciting than gray on gray on gray on gray. So I went over everything else. I did work on some knitting stuff today, but I'll wait till the next time. So I think that leaves us with, we're gonna do books and then stash building, because then stash building can talk about the knit group. I have stuff in my eye, and I keep forgetting to mention my books. So what I'm reading is Philippa Gregora, sorry, The Other Queen, and it's a Mary Queen of Scots book. And she's not the most historically accurate. She does get the main plot points done, but it is very romantic historical. More the romantic, less the historical. It's not like crazy old lady smut kind of stuff. I mean, there hasn't actually been anything going on, just lots of looks. But it's still really good. I love them. I first read her Kingmaker's Daughter, which was about Anne Boleyn, and fell in love with it. And now I think I have another Anne Boleyn one. And then Mary Queen of Scots. So far, so good. I highly recommend her if you like historical fiction. Yeah, she does get some points right, but not like huge detail. Like, I don't think that they moved Mary around as much as they did in this one. This one, she's like hopping between castles like it's nobody's business. But I mean, the Spanish didn't show up, so that's pretty consistent. I feel like I know what's gonna happen. Surprise! So it's still really good. I love it. So that's what I'm currently reading, and this is what I get my reading time in at the Stamford train station, because I have a 20-minute layover. So if I'm working on a large knitting project that I can't stand and work on, I love you so much. You're so gross. But yeah, that's what I work on the train. And then, I don't know why I didn't tell anybody this before, because I essentially finished this and then immediately told everyone I knew about it because I was obsessed with it. Let's see if I can find it and not die. It's called Endurance. It's by, I don't remember. I'll put it in the show notes. But it's about, oh, what is his name? Ernest Shackleton. Ernest Shackleton's transatlantic journey in 1914 to 1917, I want to say. It's supposed to be on my Kindle, but it's not. Yeah, it's about their journey of trying to, the goal was to sail into inland Antarctica and then dog sled across and map it out, because no one had really done that before. But there's things happen. It's exciting. It was about a 10-hour audiobook, and I listened to it driving to and from New Hampshire Valentine's Day weekend. I was addicted. I was freezing because it was the weekend. It was like -13 out, but it was so good. The narrator was fantastic. Oh, the book was fantastic. I highly recommend it. Endurance, the story of Ernest Shackleton's transantarctic journey. Highly recommended. I'm 98% sure that Jeanette talked about it, and that's where it got stuck in my brain when I was looking for audiobooks. So My hair is doing weird things. Alright, now onto stash building. So, I've given up on my yarn diet. I figure if I just don't say that I'm on one, maybe I'll stop buying stuff. Here's to hoping. So, the first thing I got, which you can see here, is the, sorry for the crinkling, I have to open it up because I forgot how to pronounce the name and I'm recording on my phone. But if you can't tell by the colors, there are these fun little things called, oops, that's not it, Havarland yarns, and it's the pack called These Are the Droids You're Looking For. And as you can guess, it's a C-3PO and an R2-D2 sock set. I love them. She posted them on her Instagram, and I think Vanessa from the Kills a Craft podcast tagged me in it. And then I proceeded to tag as many people as I could in it. And then she said she was doing pre-orders for them. So I panicked. I almost got 3 sets so I could make Jake matching socks. But I felt like that would have been a little overboard. So I just bought 2. One set. I bought 1 set. I asked him if he wanted them, and he said they were pretty cool, but he didn't give me a definitive answer. It's a 2-ply fingering weight, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and they're 50 grams each, so I'm gonna find, I don't know if I want to do a black contrasting heel and toe, or pick another. I wish the Force had a good color. Ooh, I could do red for C-3PO. And then orange for BB-8. Oh, the things that could happen. I can't wait to cast these on. But when I do cast these on, I will be knitting them in my new yarn bowl. Jake's mom painted this for me for my birthday. We stopped there on Saturday on our way home from staying at friend's house. And it doesn't fit both of them, but I'll probably knit them one at a time just to enjoy them even longer. But isn't it beautiful? She did this like grassy, leafy motif kind of thing all the way around. It was such a surprise. I love it. I'm so excited to knit in it. I wish I had a nice coffee table to put it on. The cat's probably gonna try and sit in it. As long as he doesn't break it. I'm just gonna rub my face on this more. So yes, that's one of my birthday presents. And one of my stash things. The other stash thing, this is all pre-New York. So that's a whole other situation that we're gonna pretend. Sorry for the crinkling. Actually, I'll put these back later when I'm not on screen. Put those over there. The next thing that I got was, I was watching the Yarngasm podcast, and Kristen mentioned that she looked up this place called Fabric Worm and got some double gauze to make a dress. So I figured I'd check it out, and I believe this was on sale. So I picked up 3 yards of this beautiful navy blue with little birds on it, double gauze fabric, and I think I'm gonna make an Anna dress out of it. Something along that style, because I do like the almost short to no sleeve bodice and then flirty skirt, circle skirt kind of thing. I just love the style of the Anna dress, so I think it's going to be a pretty good staple in my handmade wardrobe one day. Wardrobe. This is going in my fabric stash, and I think this month I'm going to buy that pattern and make this and then the skeleton dress. So that's that. And then the next thing I got is a little shop related. I got Once Upon a Corgi tags. Look at how cute they are. Oh. I've been trying to figure out what I want to do with the bags. I'm going to try not to cut my head off without knocking my shelf over. I like the hand embroidered corgi. I think they're adorable and they add a nice little handmade feeling to them, but I don't want to continue doing them and then have them stress me out or hate them. I don't want to not like doing any of this. So I am considering getting, I have a watercolor drawing of a corgi I'll try to put here that my friend did. So I think I might turn that into a little cloth tag to put on the outside and then have these labels go on the inside. So let me know what you think. Maybe I'll just do the hand embroidered corgis for like prizes and doing like stuff like that. I think that'd be really fun to do. Embroidery is not my number one thing. I do want to get more into it with all the SCA stuff. So we'll see. But I'm excited for these guys. I will put the link to the Etsy shop where I got these printed in the show notes. I can't pronounce it. It kind of looks like an enemy. It might be anemone. Yeah, it looks like an enemy. But they did this maybe within a week to 7 to 10 days. They're beautifully printed. You can have options for iron on or sew on. I got the sew on. They even have ones like you can pick from little images and then have your name in it. So if you want to do labels for your kids for their clothing, or even just like knit by, with love from, that kind of thing, I would definitely check them out. And the prices are very reasonable. So I got 2 sheets of these, so this should last me a while. And Jackson's back. And then our last, for being on a yarn diet, I got a lot, right? Our last acquisition is the Knitter's Book of Socks by Clara Parks. And I found this by, I went to the designer who did the monkey socks that Kristen from the Yarngasm podcast just finished, I believe. Oh, he's drooling again. I was invited by Anna to do a traveling sock knit along. So everybody, like X amount of people sign up, and then everybody votes on an indie dyer, and then everyone has to pick a colorway from that indie dyer. You can choose whatever colorway you want as long as it's from that person. And then you have, you start your sock. So you have a pattern, you knit like the first 2 inches of it, and then you put it on waste yarn, you put the pattern, the sock, and a little journal in a little envelope and mail it to the next person. So then like 1 mails to 2, 2 mails to 3, and then 3 will mail to 1, and then everyone will knit X amount of inches. So for each sock, and you have like 7, I think it was 7 days to knit those 2 inches, or like 5 or 7 days. And then you mail them on, so then at the end, when you get the last round, you'll get your sock back, knit by all these people in all these different colors, but all the same dyer, so it's sort of like a little montage of that dyer's work on your socks. And then you have all these different people that helped knit your socks, and they can write in a little journal, and it's super cool. I'm in the running to be the indie dyer for it, so that's super exciting. So we'll see what happens. But I love everybody who is in the running for it. I haven't bought any of their yarn, so I'm kind of hoping, I'm not going to say who, but I got my eye on a couple of them that I'm really hoping they win so I can justify buying more yarn. So I looked at the woman who designed the monkey socks. Long story just to get to these things. This cat hates me. Saying them a lot, Gabby. She published a couple socks in this book. I just fell in love with all of the designs in this book, and it goes into a lot of detail about like the different types of yarn. So it went through all the fibers, so like merino versus like BFL versus mohair versus alpaca, and then like what wicking is, what you want your socks to do, how you want them to feel, sort of thing, like how much ease should they have. It's very in-depth. I mean, it's a book about socks lasting a lifetime. I'm sorry. This is a disaster, and I'm getting stabbed in the thigh. But, I mean, I think it fits my aesthetic very well. They have cables and lace, and then just, I guess rib patterns, too, is what you could call them. But they're just beautiful. I mean, the lifestyle of these socks definitely sold me on it. So, for this knit-along, I'm going to do these socks. See if I can get close enough to show you. I'm sorry if this is making you seasick. There they are. And they are called the Veil of Rosebud socks. So I'm super excited to get started on that. Signups are closed, but keep an eye out. I will put a link to her podcast in the show notes because she is wonderful to watch too. I love her energy. She did a section outside, and I just thought it was hilarious because she's like, "Oh, I didn't realize that was that color. Oh, this is beautiful." I hear you. I did that recently too. So that's pre-New York stash. Now, New York was fantastic. Adrian and I took Metro North in to Grand Central. We tried to meet Carlene there, but her trains, as Metro North does, died. And she had to change trains and then got in at a later time. So we figured out the subway and we made it to the bookstore, and it was a lot of fun. There are so many people there. I'm not going to try and name them all because I know I'm going to mess up someone's name or forget. Ow! Someone. Please, please. Thank you. Sounded like Mario just won a bunch of coins. Yeah, it was a blast. It was just so fun just to hang out with everybody and chill and knit and see what everyone was working on and talk about stuff like how awful all of us are, except for maybe one person at like sports. So it was a lot of fun. And then we went to Gauge Intention, and I wanted to get the Cormo, but I didn't find any. I wasn't looking too hard. Like, I was looking, but I wasn't looking because I knew I would want to buy like all of it, but so instead I got into my head that I wanted to get stuff for a shawl that is like 3 shawls behind on my queue. So I went a little crazy on the skeiny dipping. I'm trying to get these all the right face. And the lighting is terrible. I apologize. I just have the one kitchen light. My hair is crazy. I look like a crazy person. I'm so sorry. So, there we go. There's my skeiny dipping. Everything was on sale, so it doesn't count, right? I wish the house points worked like that. So, reasonings. I want to do the Highland Peaks shawl by Mina from the Knitting Expert podcast. Hi, Mina. I essentially want to knit all of her things all of the time, forever. My, like, cast on next section, which is going to be next. Guess who designed that shawl? Mina! So, I'm so sorry. This is why I don't podcast on Mondays. The plan is to do these two, which is Cease and Desist, and it's just a black, and it's a single 100% superwash merino. And then this is their red velvet cupcake in the single too. I almost got the I think it was like a high twist superwash and nylon, but just how deep this red is, just I love it. Goth Gabby kind of took over yesterday. I wonder if you could see my necklace in the other ones. I don't remember. But yes, so the plan for this is a little bit of what I'm casting on next. This is my first loop bump ever, and it's a gradient one. I know Jenny asked me if I knew what it was, and I totally did not remember. It is their bullseye bump, and it's merino, bamboo, and tussa silk in their strawberry poison frog colorway. And it starts off with this like deep maroony mauve and then goes to this reddish brown And then almost, it looks like a super dark purple, but it might be a black, and then this super bright red. So the plan is just now, I was gonna spin this up and then chain ply it, but I think I'm gonna spin it up and then leave it as a single if I can get it even enough. And then I'll have spinning singles experience. But spin this as a single and then use this and the black as the body of the shawl. So then you'll see the gradient kind of go in, and it'll just sort of even out because it'll have the black to break it up. So then if any color change is weird, you'll have this. But I'm just hoping for like a gradient all the way through, and then do the red velvet for the lace border. So this will be my next spinning, I think. And these are awful, awful lights. You would think that I would have lights, you know, being a photo person. Maybe, oh yeah, there it is. So that's the plan. I'm super excited. I've been keeping them for the past like 36 hours on my desk and just staring at them. I fell asleep looking at them last night. So I'm so excited for it. I'm so sad Gauge Intention is closing. I think they're open till the end of the month. So go, do it. It was my first time going, and it was my first time meeting Michelle Wong, and she was such a sweetheart. I wish I could go more. And then I also got this because it says until we meet again. Who doesn't want a good pun in their yarn? And this main plan is to use for the collar for my Wendy pullover, which I got the Hedgehog Fibers Pollen, the mustard yellow that I got at Vogue Knitting Live. That'll be the body, and then this will be the collar, and then whatever is left over will probably go into a shawl. Let's be serious. It sounds like Mario is winning in my living room. I love shawls. I can't have enough. All right, I think our last two sections of this is knitting, future knitting, and then sort of a review, which we kind of just did with the New York thing. I haven't really been doing that much. Jake has returned from his business trip, so that's been super exciting to see him again, and the puppies have been very pleased with that because he also got a week off after he came back. So excuse me, they got to go to the park a couple times, they had a little bit more outside playtime, and they missed him. Iron was a true snuggle bug. If Jake was in bed, Iron was in bed, and he was not leaving that bed without him. It was adorable. So yeah, we went up to a friend's house over the weekend, hung out there, guys had a poker night. My friend and I had a ladies' night, which ended in us falling asleep to the office. So it was a very successful night, if you ask me. So future knitting plans. My next shawl is the Across the Pond shawl by Mina, as you could have guessed. And this is also going to be Katie from Inside Number 23. I think I mentioned this in the previous section. Doing a Harry Potter knit along. I've adapted her 50 points to Gryffindor into my 50 points for Hufflepuff. I'll try and figure out how to like post it on Google Docs for the public. I added stuff for spinning, like 4 ounces on a wheel, 1 ounce on a drop spindle kind of thing. I did minus points for buying fabric and fiber as well as yarn, and then I adjusted the point system, so like sewing a day dress gets me 6 points, but sewing an SEA gown will, I think, get me 8 points. And then if I knit with handspun from within 6 months, I get extra points. So I'll try and figure out how to post that. I'll ask Adrian. But yeah, so I'll eventually join this Harry Potter knit along, and this is the Half-Blood Prince colorway from A Homespun House by Molly. And I bought this on a sad when I learned that Alan Rickman passed away. It was just sort of a panic sad, and a super nice viewer left a comment on the YouTube channel because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do like a coffee color or just leave it a plain cream. And she mentioned I should do a green because then it would match Lily's eyes. So I dyed up this. I wanted them to be kind of even. I really liked how Mina's shawl sort of flowed into each other, and she did Stellar Banshee by Vine, and then the Wool Barn. Hey, he's allowed on my desk. I'll give him that, but not on my kitchen table. Wade, I love this thing too much. Yeah. I didn't want... What was I saying? Oh, I liked how hers sort of flowed into the neck. She just had a plain cream for her lace, and then Stellar Banshee, which is a very speckly yarn, but it does have the creamy base to it. So I kind of wanted something, I didn't want the tones to overpower each other, and I think that worked out really well, because this is very speckly, but this is a very, cat hair, excuse me, tonal, but they're not, I don't think they're gonna clash with each other too much. So I'm super excited to do that. And they were both, hers is 70-25-5 merino cashmere nylon, and this is an 80-10-10 merino cashmere nylon. So this is a little bit plumper, but I don't think it's gonna make too much of a difference, as you can tell. But this is also very loosely skeined up. And I do have a skein of this. It's a slightly different layout on my Audrey base that I've been debating putting up in the shop. But if anyone's interested, let me know. This is my future cast on once I get a couple things off the needles. And I did have a chit chat about the Luca shawl, and I ordered Knitter's Pride DPN Cubics, and I ordered a couple new of their new colored cables to see if maybe that would help out with everything. So hopefully that'll get going. And I believe that is it. Hopefully I've covered everything in the last section. If not, I'll probably do another pop-in when I edit this tomorrow, Tuesday, and this will hopefully be posted Wednesday. So I think that's it. Come join our knit along, live vicariously through it. I know a couple people are doing that. It's proving to be a challenge and an exciting one. I probably should have picked something easier to do for a first knit along, but who wants to do that? Yeah, come join our Ravelry group. Say hi. I don't respond to all the introductions because I feel a little redundant, like, hello, welcome, thank you, welcome, thank you. But I do read them all. So if I don't respond, it's because I fear I will start sounding ingenuine. Disgenuine? Ingenuine. Yes, I am going to work on my online presence. Sometimes when I get overwhelmed with things, I just shut down, and I've been feeling a little overwhelmed with a couple things, so I just try to hermit as much as I can. So we're gonna try and set some time aside every couple days and dedicate it to just responding and saying hello and being more of a human and less of a bridge troll. So yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, I was wearing my Bonbon shawl, maybe, in the first half, and this is my campsite shawl by Alicia Plummer, tweed yarn that I got at my local yarn shop. Oh, Swans Challenge. The Swans Challenge stuff will be up soon. I will have that thread posted in the Ravelry group. I'm not sure how voting's going yet. I think I have to talk to Melissa about that, but keep an eye out for the Swans Challenge, and we are getting some cool prizes in. I will be putting some prizes into this whole Knitters game thing, and we've got some stuff in the works. So keep an eye out for that. Swans Challenges. And I will put a link in the show notes. The Stephen West Swans tutorial, I feel like is a little bit it's a little bit vague, and every time I've tried it, I feel like it would fit if I had a man butt, but I do not have a man butt. I have a tiny lady butt, well, not tiny lady butt. I have a lady butt. So I found a tutorial that is a little bit more in-depth on how to get, like, in between steps to Stephen West tutorial. So I'll put a link to both of those if you want to make your own pair of swans. I'm not going to show you any of mine because that would be cheating because I don't know which ones I'm going to post yet. So keep an eye out for the Swans Challenge, and good luck in your knitters game and your 50 points. I'm negative 203, so let's see what happens. Everybody has been talking about how gracious they are of everybody, and I just want to say a giant thank you to everybody who has supported the Etsy shop by buying a kit. It means a lot to know that my work is appreciated and wanted and not just something that people can hit like on Instagram for. And then just a lot of the support through Instagram and Ravelry, even with just trying to figure out how to attach a pom-pom. It's fantastic to know that we have such a really good community out there, and it's a really good support system. Even though we're not physically there for each other, we all know that we're there in a way for each other, be it through Instagram hugs or Ravelry chit chats. So a giant thank you to everybody, Knitty friends, viewers. You know, warm feelings. The feels. Feels. Alright, for real, I'm leaving. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in a couple weeks. Bye.